Welcome to Multi-Mind, Mental Wellness for the multi-hyphenate. I'm Artis Desjardins. If you just listened to the trailer, you know what this podcast is about. Now let's talk about why it exists. Because here's what happened to me. I was running my consulting business, building educational content, managing multiple client relationships, all while working my 9 to 5. And one day I'm sitting at my desk trying to write an email to a client and I just couldn't. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I had nothing left. I completely depleted my mental bandwidth without even realizing it was happening. That moment changed everything. Today we're talking about why your mental wellness isn't a side project you get to when you've made it. It's the foundation that makes everything else possible. Here's what nobody talks about when they celebrate the multi-hyphenate lifestyle or the portfolio career. Every hat you wear comes with its own identity, its own set of expectations, and its own mental load. When you're a business consultant, you're holding space for other people's challenges all day. When you're an educator, you're in performance mode, showing up with energy even when you're depleted. And when you're a business owner, you're making hundreds of micro decisions that each carry weight. When you're scaling multiple ventures, you're doing all of this simultaneously with zero compartmentalization. And here's the part that makes everything harder. You can't just apply the standard entrepreneurial wellness advice to your life. All those articles about morning routines and meditation and work-life balance, they're written from people running one business. They assume you have one identity to integrate, one set of goals to focus on, one primary source of stress to manage. But you're managing multiple business identities, multiple revenue streams, multiple teams or clients, multiple definitions of success, all happening at the same time in the same brain. That's not a moral failing. That's a cognitive architecture that wasn't designed for what you're asking it to do. The traditional wellness advice isn't bad. It's just incomplete for us. Multi-Mind is not the one-size-fits-all morning routine, not the just say no more advice from people who've never had to manage 3 different brains before breakfast. Because I know your time is fractured, I'm bringing you bite-sized episodes of real conversation about mental wellness challenges specific to multi-hyphenates. Identity integration, how do you maintain a sense of self when you're wearing 5 different professional hats? Energy economics, how do you allocate your mental bandwidth when every venture is screaming for attention? Decision fatigue. How do you make good choices when you're making 10 times more decisions than a single venture entrepreneur? The messy middle. What do you do when multiple businesses are struggling at once? When imposter syndrome is hitting you in 3 different industries simultaneously? Sustainable systems. What are the mental wellness practices that actually fit into a life with no routine? Here's my promise to you. I'm meeting you where you are, which could be anywhere from I'm thriving, but I want to optimize to I'm drowning, I need a lifeline. No judgment, just empathy, real experience, and practical tools. I'm not going to tell you to meditate for an hour every morning. I'm not going to suggest you simplify your life by dropping ventures. I'm not going to give you advice that only works if you have a personal assistant and a trust fund. I'm going to talk to you like the capable, ambitious, multi-passionate person you are, who also happens to be human and needs support for the mental gymnastics that is running multiple businesses. Some episodes will be just me, processing real challenges I'm navigating. Some will feature therapists and coaches who actually understand the multi-hyphenate experience. Some will showcase other entrepreneurs who are doing this successfully. And some will be me answering your voice notes and messages because your struggles are the curriculum. This isn't a podcast about productivity hacks. This is a podcast about protecting your mind while you're building multiple empires. So here's what I want you to do this week. Take an honest mental wellness audit. I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, how many different professional identities am I actively managing right now? Consultant, educator, business owner, content creator, community leader, count them all. 2, which one is taking the biggest toll on my mental energy right now? Not which one is most important, which one is most draining? And 3, what's one mental wellness practice I've been meaning to get to, but haven't because I've convinced myself I don't have time? Just notice, don't judge yourself. Don't create a new to-do list. Just get honest about where you actually are. Because the thing is, you can't heal what you won't acknowledge. And if you're feeling that tightness in your chest that comes from being seen, that feeling of, oh, she's talking directly to me, I want you to know you're not alone and you're not broken. And your mental wellness isn't a luxury you get to when you've made it. It's the foundation that makes everything else possible. Next week, we're diving into something I know a lot of you are feeling but not talking about. The identity crisis of wearing too many hats. Who are you when you're everything to everyone? Here's how you can be a part of the podcast. Submit a voice note or a message. Go to multimindpodcast.com and tell me what's the biggest mental wellness challenge you're facing as a multi-hyphenate right now. Keep voice notes under 60 seconds. I'll feature submissions throughout the season if given permission. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, leave a rating or review as it helps other multi-hyphenates find us, and share this with one person in your life who's juggling too many hats. If you want more in-depth business content to take you further in your multi-hyphenate journey, visit my YouTube channel, Artis Desjardins. Link will be in the show notes. And if you want to work together one-on-one, head to artisdesjardins.com. Remember, your mental wellness doesn't have a side hustle. It's the main event. I'm Artis Desjardins, and this is Multi-Mind. I'll see you next Monday.